without a global pandemic, communities of color struggle against the stigma in order to address their mental health needs. It is a challenge to be able to afford counseling and culturally appropriate support. We have to mention phenomenal women like actress Taraji P Henson, who is doing her part through her Boris Lawrence Henson Foundation, BLHF, and making the world a safer and better place to address mental health issues. Right? So Miss Henson recently launched a COVID-19 virtual therapy initiative to serve communities of color as they navigate major life changes triggered by the coronavirus crisis. Right? So BLHF recognizes that during this difficult time, affording the cost of mental health services can be a barrier in the African American community. So Miss Henson goes on to say, having to choose between a meal and a mental health is not something that one should ever have to ponder, she says in a statement on the BLHF website. We are walking around broken, wounded, and hurt, and we don't think it's okay to talk about it, she says. We don't talk about it at home. It is shunned. It's something that makes you look weak. We are told to pray it away, she adds. Right, ladies, can you relate to that? So people are killing themselves. People are numbing out on drugs. Not everything is fixed with a pill, says Miss Henson. Right, so this new COVID-19 world of lost jobs and isolation has made it more complicated. But organizations that offer mental health support, like BLHF, can be so important to people who are struggling in this crisis and beyond. We all need to help others who might not be doing so well too. So here are some ways you can help others to also cope during this crisis. Right? So taking care of yourself can better equip you to help take care of others. Right? So during times of social distancing, it is especially important, ladies, to stay connected with your friends and your family. Helping others cope with stress through phone calls or video chats can help you and your loved ones feel less lonely or isolated. Right? So also during times of extreme stress, people may have thoughts of suicide. Suicide is a very serious public health problem that can have lasting harmful effects on individuals, families, and communities. Right? Suicide is more than a mental health concern. Suicide is preventable and help is available. Right? A scientific study has shown that a range of factors contribute to suicide among those with and without known mental health conditions. Everyone can help prevent suicide by knowing the warning signs and where to get help. So let's talk about the risk of suicide signs to watch for and how to respond if you notice these signs in yourself or a friend or a loved one. Right? So factors that can affect suicide are like individual, relationship, community, and societal can influence the risk of suicide. Right? So know the warning signs, right? And these include feeling like a burden, being isolated, increased anxiety, feeling trapped or in unbearable pain, increased substance use, looking for a way to access lethal means, increased anger or rage, extreme mood swings, expressing hopelessness, sleeping too little or too much, talking or posting about wanting to die, and making plans for suicide. Right? So we need to try to help and safeguard the people in our lives from the risk of suicide and support them, right? So these are some ways that we can provide support to someone who's feeling suicidal. Okay? So you can ask, right? Ask what's wrong. Talk to them. Find out what's going on, right? 2, you can keep them safe, right? Keep them away from objects that might be deemed, as aids to suicide, the pills, the razors, anything that can be used to commit an act, right? Be there for them in whichever way they need you to be there. Ask, right? And just be there. Help them connect. Point 4. You can start with the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, which is 1-800-273-8255. Or all Jamaicans can contact the Ministry Mental Health and Suicide Prevention Helpline at 888-NEW-LIFE, which is 888-639-5433 for mental health support. Right? You can also follow up with them. Follow up with them and find out what's happening, what's going on, how are they feeling, just check in, right? You can listen, right? It's been proven that a lot of persons who committed suicide are persons who didn't feel like they could talk to someone. There's a feeling of no hope. Like no one was willing to sit down and listen to them to get to the bottom of it, to find out what was wrong. They felt trapped and alone and like there was no other choice or option but to commit suicide. So listening can go a far way in saving someone's life. Right? Next point, provide comfort, right? In whichever way they might need it. They might just need a hug. They might need you to sit there and be quiet with them. They might need somebody to take them to lunch, take them to dinner, somebody to talk to, somebody to watch a movie with. So provide comfort in whichever way you can, while providing a listening ear, right? Next point, provide solutions if possible, right? So let's say somebody wants to commit suicide because they're hopeless. They have no job. They have no money. How are they going to pay their bills? Like, there's no hope, right? You can help that person out maybe by helping to write their resume, helping them to look for jobs, talk to anybody who might be seeking somebody to work for them. Provide solutions if possible, right? Because at the end of the day, everyone can play a part in preventing suicide. No deed is too small or too large. Let's all try to play our part, right? So, moving on to COVID and how to help your child or teen cope with their mental issues during the crisis. Okay? So children and teens react in part on what they see from the adults around them. So when parents and caregivers deal with COVID-19 calmly and confidently, they can provide the best support for their children. Parents can be more reassuring to others around them, especially children, if they're better prepared. Right? So watch for behavioral changes in your child during this time. Right? Not all children and teens respond to stress in the same way, but there are some common changes that you can watch out for that shows that their mental health is being affected, right? So these include excessive crying or irritation in younger children, right? 2, returning to behaviors they have outgrown. For example, toileting accidents, bedwetting, going back to sucking the thumb, acting like a toddler, all of that, right? 3, excessive worry or sadness. 4, unhealthy eating or sleeping habits. 5, irritability or acting out behaviors in teens. Are they unruly? Are they rebellious? Are they fighting? 6, poor school performance or avoiding school, right? A lot of kids are tired of being online all day and they just want to see their friends. They just want to be out there. My own daughter, she's talked to me about this. Like, she feels isolated. She feels cut off from her friends from being online all day, just behind a screen, so look out for that. Poor school performance or avoiding school, right? Difficulties with attention and concentration, right? Avoidance of activities enjoyed in the past. They don't want to do stuff that they used to enjoy before. They don't want to play outside. They don't want to read a book. They don't want to watch TV. Those are some things to watch out for. Unexplained headaches or body pains, right? And the use of alcohol, tobacco, or other drugs, right? So here are some ways that you can support your child and support their mental health during this period. 1, answer questions and share facts about COVID-19 in a way your child can understand. 2, reassure your child that they're safe. Let them know it's okay if they feel upset. Share with them how you deal with your own stress so they can learn from you how to cope with stress. 3, limit your family's exposure to news coverage of the event, including social media. Children may misinterpret what they hear and can be frightened about something they do not understand. There's no need to expose them to the news and Facebook 24/7 on COVID. Take breaks, right? So 4, try to keep up with regular routines. If schools are closed, create a schedule for learning activities and relaxing or fun activities for children. Set up a picnic outside. Let them go run up and down in the yard, play in the grass, eat outside, play with their brothers and sisters, play some board games. Set up something fun. Remind them of what it's like to be a child pre-COVID, right? So that mental stress, it will feel lighter to them, right? 5, be a role model. Taking breaks, get plenty of sleep, exercise, and eat well. And remember to connect with your family and friends. Right? 7, spending time with your child in meaningful activities, reading together, exercising, playing board games. Engage your child. Okay? So the bottom line is, try not to focus on the things you cannot change right now. Instead, Focus on the things that you can control. Never be afraid to reach out for help, ladies. Whether it is you use virtual therapy or choose to call a hotline or talk to a friend or a family member, stay connected. Talk about your issues that are affecting you so that somebody can advise you. It always feels nice to be heard. Right? And remember, it will get better if we stay connected with each other. You are not alone. We will get through this together, ladies, and emerge stronger, wiser, and healthier. Right? So, in the meantime, take care of your mental health, ladies. And until next time, always remember, you got this, sis. So that's when you say, ladies, okay, brain, what have you got for me? Then write down the steps you are taking to protect yourself, such as hand washing and wearing a mask. Also, try to acknowledge that you've controlled everything you can. When your brain starts to chatter at you at night, remind it that you've already listened and will listen again the next night. At bedtime, you should have an idea of a restful place where you can go mentally, right? So think about your favorite vacation or your happy place. Then gently unhook yourself from that worry and get yourself to that good place, which will help you to sleep better. Also, don't forget basic sleep hygiene. Avoid long naps, put away screens for an hour before you turn in, try and go to bed, and wake up at the same time each day and keep your bedroom cool and dark. All about the beauty sleep, ladies. Okay, so number 7 is make an uplifting playlist. Get a playlist of your favorite music. It can help lift your mood and calm your anxiety and fears. It may be gospel, jazz, hip-hop, old school pop, or any other type of music. Just make a playlist and enjoy yourself, ladies. Dance around the house, dance in the mirror, dance in the bathroom. Sing along loudly to your favorite songs. Just enjoy yourself, which in turn will lift your spirits and help you to feel happier. Number 8, nourish your spirit. Don't ignore your spiritual health. Meditation, faith, and prayer are all important at times like these. Just because we can't go to a service right now doesn't mean we can't worship at a distance together. Connect virtually. Okay? Number 9. This is a big one and one we often dread, ladies. Exercise. Yes, I said it. Exercise. Get some fresh air and exercise. You may not be able to go to a gym at this point, but there are many online classes that can help you get 30 minutes plus of mood lifting exercise. Or there's always YouTube. Yoga practices can also help to boost both mental and physical health, or just get out and walk. Be sure to practice physical distancing, also referred to as social distancing, and wear a mask if you're going to be around other people. Point number 10, practice positive thinking. Even in the face of the unknown, ask yourself, I may not know what tomorrow will bring, but what do I know to be true today? Examples of helpful answers might be, I am healthy right now. My loved ones are safe right now. I have food in my pantry. So we tend to forget the positives in time of stress and focus only on the bad things. Energy spent on what if is wasted energy. No one has a crystal ball to see the future, but we can stay focused on today whenever possible, instead of traveling too far down a path that may or may not actually play out in real life. So why worry about it if it may or may not happen? Be positive. So practice positive thinking. All right, number 11, refrain from using substances like drug and alcohol to cope. Right? So avoid using drugs and alcohol for managing fear and anxiety. They may seem to help in the short term, but they will likely not have any sort of lasting positive impact on your mood or circumstances. Depending on drugs is never fun, and it's also a habit that is very hard to break. Point 12, give virtual hugs. When physical contact is prohibited, don't be afraid to share virtual hugs. These can be kind words, appreciation, expressions of love and friendship via text, face-to-face apps, letters in the mails, or phone calls. Connecting in this way helps us to feel that we are all in this together. Point 13, remind yourself it's okay to feel how you feel. Remember that feeling anxiety, stress, sadness, and other emotions in a time like this is normal. Don't judge yourself or others, and know that using these strategies will help relieve the feelings and prepare you for what lies ahead. Number 14, seek professional help. When your fears get too big to manage on your own, reach out to a professional for help. Many mental health care providers are offering telehealth treatment options in an effort to help people cope while staying safe. Right? And point 15, practice mindfulness, meditation, and deep breathing. These activities cause your body to release stress and help calm your mind. While you're at it, and more of the usual activities that help you to relax, such as listening to music, reading, playing video or phone games, watching Netflix, spending time with pets, engaging in spiritual practices, or lighting scented candles. Anything that will help you to de-stress mentally and to get rid of that fear and anxiety is awesome, ladies. Welcome to another episode of You Got This, Sis. So happy to be here with you today, ladies. And I hope everyone is doing fine and holding on despite all the challenges, all the stress, all the current issues. I hope everyone is okay. So, to get into today's episode, today we're going to be talking about mental health and 15 ways how you can protect your mental health during the current pandemic. Right? And before we get into this topic, I just want to share a voice message with you that was sent in regarding our last episode. Let's get your sexy back, sis. This is a voice message from my dearly beloved sister, Jody Ann Wright, who is a phenomenal mom and just a go-getter, and I love her dearly. And this is what she said.
Girl, your podcast is what I needed in my life. Like, legitimately, I sit down and I listen to it and I say, yeah, this is my sister actually talking to me. Really, on a serious note, I love this. Good girl. Yeah.
Thank you, Jody, for sharing that with us today. We appreciate the love. Okay, so moving on to 15 ways to protect your mental health during the current pandemic. What a heavy topic, right, ladies? So the COVID-19 pandemic has had a major effect on all our lives. Many of us are facing challenges that can be stressful, overwhelming, and cause strong emotions in both adults and children. We know that so many women are struggling to keep their emotional footing, especially now. Can anybody else relate to this, ladies? So, in addition to fears of contracting the virus, we're dealing with the economic instability it has caused. Like, women tend to be among the most economically vulnerable, right? This pandemic, it has also raised the stakes. Fears of unemployment, job losses, and revenue losses for small business are ramping up stress and triggering the mental health issues that are so real on a daily basis. Anxiety about paying the rent, educating the kids, and buying food are overwhelming too. Can you relate to this? I know I can. So public health actions such as social distancing are necessary to reduce the spread of COVID-19, but they can also make us feel isolated and lonely and can increase stress and anxiety, right? So stress can cause the following symptoms: feelings of fear, anger, sadness, worry, numbness, or frustration, changes in appetite, energy, desires, and interests, difficulty concentrating and making decisions, difficulty sleeping or nightmares, physical reactions such as headaches, body pains, stomach problems, and skin rashes, worsening of chronic health problems, worsening of mental health conditions, increased use of drugs such as smoking, excessive drinking, marijuana use, and other drugs. It is natural to feel stress, anxiety, grief, and worry during the COVID-19 pandemic. Right? Learning to cope with stress in a healthy way will make you, the people you care about, and those around you become more resilient. So, here are 15 ways that you can help yourself, help others, your community, manage stress. So, ladies, here are 15 healthy ways to cope with stress. 1. Take a break from watching, reading, or listening to news stories, including those on social media. It is good to be informed, but hearing about the pandemic constantly can be upsetting. I myself, I have also experienced this. Consider limiting news to just a couple times a day and disconnecting from the phone, TV, and computer screens for a while. in order to disconnect and get some peace of mind. 2, take care of your body. Take deep breaths, stretch or meditate. Try to eat healthy, well-balanced meals. Exercise regularly. Get plenty of sleep and avoid excessive alcohol, tobacco, and substance use. Continue with routine preventative health measures such as cancer screenings, general checkups as recommended by your healthcare provider. So those are all ways that you can take care of your body. 3, make time to unwind. Try to do some of the activities that you love and enjoy. Maybe it's reading a book, maybe it's taking a walk, maybe it's watching a movie, maybe it's calling your friends. Just make some time to unwind. 4, connect with others. Talk with others you trust about your concerns and how you are feeling. Stay connected with others despite social distancing. Call, text, or email friends and family on a regular basis. Use face-to-face apps to make contact even more meaningful. Or go for a walk outside and wave at neighbors and strangers too, from a distance, of course. Safety is key, ladies. Number 5, connect with your community or faith-based organization like your church. While social distancing measures are in place, try connecting online through social media or by phone or email. Number 6, so this is your practical activity for the day, ladies. You are going to do a worry drop, right? So what is a worry drop? A worry drop is when you write out all of your fears in a journal until your anxiety has dropped by half. What does this mean? Write down everything that you're scared of. I'm afraid of losing my job. I'm afraid of getting sick. I'm afraid I have no money. Right? So write all of these fears down, put them on paper. Right? So what is on your mind, it will help to alleviate your stress. Right? By writing it down. The second thing, you're going to make a second list, right? Apart from your wardrobe, you're going to make a second list. And you're going to make a daily list of what is going well. And remember all the things that are going well in that day for you, or in that week, or in that month, right? Despite the current situation, maybe you're able to spend more time with your kids, or reading a book that you've been meaning to, or learning how to cook, right? If you can't get your brain to turn off at night, we suggest setting aside some worry time each day, right? Where you write down your concerns, right? So this is going back to the worry drop. So after dinner, take 10 minutes where you just bullet point everything your head is talking to you about.